Hi guys, and judging by the title of this video, you know I'm going to be working on some of these. It's a repair of some GHD hair straighteners. Now then, these ones have been handed to me. Apparently they don't heat up and don't turn on. So we're going to have a good old fault find on these, and I'm going to take you through the processes of fault finding hair straighteners, well, GHD hair straighteners, so you can repair almost, any of them. These ones are part of the I think the style range or something or other, and these ones are model, it's on the silver thing on the inside, model 4.2B. So yeah, we're going to pull these apart, do all the fault finding. We're going to start off with the basics, start with the fuse and the plug, cable, and then crack it open and whatnot. So let's get on and get started on doing this. Let's go down here. Right, and so these are the tools that you're going to need for working on your hair straighteners. One multimeter, two medium-sized crosshead drivers, size 1 and size 2. Small little crosshead, I think that's either a 0 or a 00. Small flathead, optional if you need to prise anything open, and a pair of pliers, which might come in handy. We'll see. They're all the tools that you need. Multimeter doesn't have to be an expensive one, it can be a cheapo, as long as it measures resistance and continuity. Okay, so the continuity one is the control that looks like a little speaker, a little sounder. It just buzzes when you put the two probes together, and the other one's resistance, which measures resistance. The other tools, cheapo ones, you don't need anything special in particular. You can get most of this stuff from the discount store, pound store, and all that sort of stuff. So you don't need to spend tons of money on this stuff for basic repairs. So let's get started. First thing that you need to do, plug it in, switch it on, check out the little light in here. Okay, if it turns on, doesn't flick out when you're moving the cable around, then and it doesn't heat up, then probably these plates have gone. If it doesn't turn up, then turn on. Nothing happens when you're flexing the cable about. Then it could be the plug, the cable, the mains fuse, or it could be internal protection that's gone. Who knows? Hold on a minute, I think I can hear a fire alarm going off. I can. It's in the other building. That's cool. Don't have to worry about that. Right, and so always start off with the basics. After you plugged it in, works out whether or not it's powering up, but we're going to take it from the beginning, so as if it hasn't powered up. First thing, check over the fuse and the plug, and check out your plug and your cable. So grab a little flathead or something, and you just want to prise out the fuse and give it a test. This is a 5 amp mains fuse. You want to grab your meter, check your fuse, switch it to continuity, touch the probes together. Actually, I better switch that to continuity, which is that one on this meter. Make sure it's on the little buzzer. Touch the probes together, and if you got a connection, you get a beep. So touching either end of the fuse, and you get a beep. The fuse is okay. So brilliant, thumbs up. That can go back into the plug. No problems there. Moving on. Crosshead. Crack the plug open. Have a check inside. And you just want to make sure that there's no black carbon scoring or anything like that on these. This particular one, as you can see, nice and clean, nothing wrong with that. Plug it back in, nice and securely, close it up, screw it back together, and always screw things back together as you go along. Next task, plug is all okay, fine. Check the cable, and especially check around the joints. Okay, look for any worn cable, any cuts, any splices, you know. If it looks a bit on the nasty side, my multimeter's getting tangled up in this. That's not good. Let's get rid of that for the moment. Yeah, so just get your cables and we'll check over again at the opposite end. Run your hands down it. Look for any obvious signs of wear. If it isn't, if there's nothing there, then you've got to start cracking this open. Now, depending on what hair straightener you got, if you can get to the cable retainer at the back, so you can electrically test the cable, or in the case of these, in some GHDs, you've got to crack open the actual clasps itself in order to get to the cable retainer which holds the grommet in place and what have you, so you can check it. So that's what we're going to do next. So again, little flat head, pop out the little discs on the side. They should just be on clips, so just clip off. Same on the opposite side, unclip, and you've got 2 screws on either side, cross heads, 2 screwdrivers, both your medium chunky ones, one on either side, like that, and this is where you need an extra pair of hands. Best thing to do is either put this into a clamp and then you can unscrew both sides, get someone else to hold it, or pull it between your legs, hold it upright, and then you can unscrew it that way up, okay, which is what I'm going to do. Now these screws, you can't see this at the moment, I'm sorry about that, because I'm holding this between my legs because I don't have anyone else here. It can be quite tough to get apart, so you have to persevere. Getting these open, if you can't unscrew it one way, then try it the opposite way. Like this, if you can see that. Okay, you just got to persevere, keep on going at it. Like I said, you need someone else, another pair of hands to hold these. It's a pain in the arse and you can't see it, so I'm very sorry. Once I crack it open, then yeah, I'll show you. Once you get it on the go, it's not too bad. What you find is one side will unscrew, the other side will stay fixed. And it is hard work, you need muscle for this. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I've unscrewed that side. You can go down there. This end, push it out with a screwdriver. Like that. Comes apart. Be careful you don't break any of the wires at the end, so nothing sharp. And you want to get to the 2 screws just here that hold this cable in place. So a smaller crosshead. In we go. And for those of you who are moaning that my hands are in the way or you can't see anything or it's not clear, I'm very sorry, but this is real repairs that I'm doing. No retakes or anything. So yeah, what you see is what you get. This is real life engineering. So here's our clip. Okay, plugs in. Nice thing about GHDs, everything is unpluggable, everything's screwed together. You know, it's very, very easy to replace. All these are replaceable. So it comes out. Again, check over the connection for any black scoring or anything where there might be an electrical fault. In this case, you can see it's all nice and clear. Opposite end of the cable, there's no scorching, no black, it's nice and shiny. So more than likely, this cable will be pristinely fine. Again, grab your meter. Set it to your continuity, touch one into the outer, That should go to the neutral or the live, one or the other. What would I need to? Will this work? Yep, there we go. We have live. Nothing to the live, only to the neutral is on the outer. Some hair straighteners, they will be swapped around. Ideally you want the live to the centre, but you know, if it isn't, no biggie. And the centre pin should be live, which it is. And you want to shake the cable about, move it about, make sure that it doesn't, you know, there's no disconnections. So that is fine. Again, if everything's okay, plug it in and screw it back together. So the cable is fine, the plug is fine, the power connection is fine, everything is hunky-dory, which is pointing to something gone wrong, actually internal. Now, depending on which hair straightener you got, if you've got access to the back, that's fine, you can do that test straight away. If you haven't and you need to open them up, or that's fine. If you haven't, you've got to crack them open. If it is to the rear, then it's at this stage, then you've got to open it all up and unscrew, which is a pain in the arse. Now then, hair straighteners come in two halves. You've got circuit board, which is under the top, circuit board which is in this section. Okay, I'm not going to run over the circuit board, fault find on that, simply because that's going to take a very long process and it's a little bit more complicated, and most of the time the faults are going to be with the thermal fuse inside the fuse again, or the ceramic plates. It's very rare that the circuit board's gone, so I'm not really going to touch that, and I'm not expecting it to be damaged. So the part that you want to take off is this part with the switch and the LED. This is where the power comes in and gets distributed to the top board and everything. So crack this open, two screws, your small crosshead again, make sure we don't lose them. This should come off if you can get your nails underneath. If not, then prise it off, you know, with the flat head. That comes off quite easily. And inside, this is what we're going to be probing about. Now in GHDs, everything is screwed in place. Okay, nothing is soldered, nothing's on clips or anything, so you know, fixing these is really easy. Let's try and zoom in on this now, if we can. Now you can see what's going on. Right then. There we go. Right then. Things that you want to pay attention to on these. Circuit board first. Make sure that there's no obvious damage on the circuit board, no burn marks or anything like that. If there is, then chances are it is something wrong with the board. In this case, it's all nice and shiny, no damage or anything. Wires are all in, no cables have been cut. Just by looking at this. And down here, this is where we're going to be testing. Okay, now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screw terminals. 2 of them are for the fuse, which is the thermal cutout. So if you leave these on for a long period of time or forget to switch them off, it does have a thermal fuse in here. That way, you know, the thermal fuse will blow, it will cut out if you leave them on, if they overheat, and if you forget about them or anything like that, and they're not going to set fire to anything. So these do get toasty warm. They're the 2 outer ones, and they have written a fuse on them. And then you've got heater A and heater B, which goes to your ceramic plate. That's the 2 centre ones. Now, in order to test these, what you need to do is to unscrew them. So I'll show you how to test the ceramic heating plate and the fuse. So you want your small driver, just unscrew these. Whatever you do, do not lose these screws, otherwise you will be well and truly shafted. Alright, unscrew them, and hot plate should lift out. At this end, if we push it back a bit, or lift it up and then lift it up a bit, and pull it back, take out the little rubber thing just out the back here. Done this so often that you know, it's become second nature to me to zoom out so you can actually see now a little bit better. Right, so the plate is out, all unscrewed, and the screws are all here. There's one that I missed. So keep the screws inside here, that way you won't lose them. So the outer two are your fuse, inner two is what heats the plate. Now then, again, check the fuse using the continuity function of your meter. Doesn't matter which way around you hold these, and lo and behold, no buzzy sound. The fuse has gone. No sound, it's dead. If you've got a sound, a beepy sound, then the fuse is okay, but this one is in actual fact dead, so it's the fuse that's gone in this. And to check the hot plate, just double check. You do the same test for the top one as well, for the top hot plate. Make sure that you switch it to ohms. Now we can get to the ohms measurement, which is what we're on now on our meter. Hopefully you can see the screen. If we place it across the hot plate, which is the heating element, there we go, 70 ohms. Okay. Now on these ceramic hot plates, depending on which model of hair straightener you're testing, that value will vary. It can be anywhere between 50 ohms to about 150 ohms. Depends on the size of your plates. On this one, model 4, about 70 ohms for the hot plate. If you've got 70 ohms, perfectly fine. Anywhere up to about 150, perfectly fine. Again, if it's open, if it's this, overload, or when you place it together it's virtually nothing, okay, then there's definitely something wrong with your ceramic hot plate and you need to get a new heater. Now then, flipping this over, on the opposite side, this is your thermal fuse in the centre. This is what needs replacing in this particular one, and in order to get that out, it's actually on a metal clasp. What you need to do is to slide, whoops, it's back slightly. Oh no, sorry, not back. I want to slide it forwards as back. What am I going on about? You want to slide it back, like that. Prise it out, and yeah. What is it forwards? No, we want to push it forwards. Dumbass, aren't I? Right, so push this plate all the way forwards towards the cable end. Then your small cross edge, you can push the thermal fuse forwards and out. So pull up the clasp and lift it out. Like that.
Alright, Andy.
Morning.
Is it going alright?
Yeah, I'm just doing a video.
Oh, you did a video?
I am.
A YouTube one, another one.
I'm
a
YouTube videoing, yes. Next one on the hair straighteners. Okay.
Oh, hair straighteners.
For those of you who can hear that, that's Martin.
Oh,
He's our new PCB tech. Okay, he's just joined us, replaced Peter. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Alright then, so, yeah, this is our thermal fuse. This is the thing that's actually blown, so that can go. We can put the new one in. Right, now, I do have some of these before, and I did have a suspicion, so I got them ready. Here's the replacement. Now you can buy these online just for, you know, a couple of pence, a few pound. You know, they're bugger all to cost. And the new one just slots in underneath, and you just push the wires back that way. So, wires in first. And hopefully this will just slide in very, very easily. Get them in one at a time. Making its way through. It can be a pain in the ass to get through. You might want to help him through with a little driver. That's it, so you can just see it coming out. That, and just there, you can just see it here, right in the middle. We'll tease that one through. That's one. Do the same for the opposite side. Yeah, slide it down. Grab the end, grab the loop, pull it through. And we're through. That can slip in and underneath that clasp again. Alright, job done. All that we need now, screw that in place. So, before you do that, quick test. Back to continuity, check the fuse. There you go, you got the beep. Fuse is okay. Slide your hot plate back up, slot it all in, and just screw it all back in. Simple as that. This is where you might need your pliers or a little magnetic screwdriver, because this part is fiddly to get these screws back in just down here. Make sure that you do the fuse to the fuse and the hot plate to the centre hot plates. So, what I find easiest, if you don't have a magnetic driver, bend the wires up, drop the screw into the ring, and then bring it down on top of your screw terminal, and you can just screw straight in. And we'll do that again. Sorry if my hands are in the way. Let's do it this way around for those of you that keep on moaning. Like I say, it's a real repair. There we go. So you just screw them back in like so. Tight. Now I just made a cardinal mistake. That's losing a screw, so I'm going to have to find that. It's on the desk somewhere. Yeah. Screwing that one in. Okay, where did that other little screw go? Oh, it didn't drop out. There it was. It's the beauty about keeping your screws in the top. Don't lose them. I thought I lost one, and I didn't lose one. Hey. So, last one. Fuse connector, in it goes. Oh dear, dropped out. This is where your magnetic screwdrivers come in place, and I'll show you how to make one of those actually next. Just at the end of it is a magnetic driver. Yeah, and we're in. Now then, assuming that the other hot plate, this one is okay, since that the fuse did go, so it would have saved everything. All we need to do is to put the jelly back in. Let's line them up straight. that sits on top like that, and a little holder like that. This goes back on top, like so, and it all gets screwed back together, making sure that you don't catch any of the wires. Last thing that you want to do in a mains electrical appliance is actually screw down or onto any of the wires. You slice a wire, especially if you slice it with a screw, if you touch the screw you might get the shock of your life. So, just a word of warning there. And then into the back. Job done. So before I screw these sensors back on, I'm just going to plug this in, and you should see this light up. On, and do we? Yes we do. It bleeped on, we've got a light, and yep, ouch, they are getting toasty. Off it goes. Screw it all back together, clips back on, ouch. Yeah, once you tested it, make sure that you do let it cool down. Don't do what I just did. Right in. That's it. When you put this on, make sure that this metal clip does go over the top. Don't do it sat inside. If it sits inside, it's not going to spring back open. Make sure it's closed. Again, you might want 2 pairs of hands to re-screw this back together. If not, yeah, between your legs again, and hold it between your thighs. And yeah, so will it go? No, oh dear, because it didn't get the spring in properly. Gotta get that spring in. If you don't get the spring in, then it's not going to open and close. There we go, like that. Screw into the opposite side, get it started off. Once it starts tightening up, that's when you need to put it between your legs and give it a good old screwing together. Yeah, so there's a couple of innuendos going around about putting things between your legs for a bit of screwing, but yeah, you hope. Give it a good tighten up. Like so, clips back on, and your hair straighteners are all working again. So if it was the cable that was faulty, you know, replace the cable, continue on with your testing, plug it in, give it a test. If it doesn't work, move on, and yeah, so on. There we go, 1 set of hair straighteners all prepared. Yeah, what more can you say? Now then, moving on, just that magnetic driver, which I'm going to just show you. They're bloody easy to make. All you need is a magnet. So creating a magnetic driver, just a tip. Okay, this one's non-magnetic, as you can see, it's not attaching to anything. And I've got my magnet, which, yeah, there it is. Okay, all that you need is a magnet. Take your screwdriver, whack it on, and just stroke it across. Make sure it's a reasonably strong magnet. Do it a few times, and this aligns the poles in your screwdriver, the steel in your screwdriver, turns them all the same direction. And you just want to stroke it a few times like that, and then eventually, as you can see, it's magnetic. Job done. Good. Just a good test. Good little thing there. Actually, there you go. You can actually see that. It's proof. There you go. Done. Only vaguely magnetic, and you can use it on anything, on any steel screw. Yeah. So yeah, good tip, and a very quick one. Right. See you next time.